Alright guys, welcome to Sim Captain. It is Friday, May 19th, 2017. We got Friday night ops in Orlando. It is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday night ops begins at 7. So this is about a 2-hour flight. So I figured to depart now, I should arrive in the thick of the event. I hate this checklist, but alright. The APU is on, passenger briefings complete, doors are closed and locked, controls are free and correct. We're actually going to take a look outside to make sure. Alright, left rudder, right rudder, elevator, okay. Trim set for takeoff, fuel checked, proper tank circuit breaker checked, parking brake is on. Engine start, master is on, fuel pumps on, rotating beacons on, throttles are idle, we're clear left and right, the number 2 is already running. Alternator master is on, avionics are on, nav panel lights as required, oil pressure checked, and starter switch to ground, and we'll select the number 1 engine for start. And the screen's probably all washed out white and you can't see anything anyway, and I won't be able to use this footage, but I'll find out. There's a good start of the number 1, switch to ground. Clock is set. There's nobody online to get a clearance from. Transponder is set. We'll squawk normal. Weather is in good. I'm not going to check it for our departure, but I'll check our en route weather. No tower to receive clearance from. Go back inside. Vertical speed reads 0, airspeed reads 0. Landing gear selector down, test the lights, good test. Cabin alerts on. And shut the APU off. APU is off. Taxi lights are on, parking brake is off, and we'll test the brakes. There's the left brake, there's the right brake. Alright, brakes set. Flaps set for takeoff, autopilot is preset. Pitot heat's on, de-ice is on, heading indicator, once I get moving I'll check. Spoilers, deploy, full deployment, light illuminates, retract, light extinguishes. Reversers, I'll test them when I'm taxiing. Engines are stable, and starter switch is to continuous for the departure. And we are going to start taxiing out. That was the taxi checklist. Alright, we're turning. Both turn indicators are indicating. Altimeter is the local setting. Using my cheat button. There are other aircraft here. Delta just departed. I believe he's going to Orlando too. Put the GPS on. Alright, pre-takeoff checklist. Note time and fuel. Well, let me just wait till I'm at the runway. Turn the flight director on. We're departing on the Philadelphia 1. Let me bring us to a stop here. Alright. Transponder is set. Let's note time and fuel. We'll start the clock. Radios are set, comm radios are set, transponder set. Pitot heat is on, de-ice is on, fuel pump is on. The yaw dampener is off, flaps are set, trim is set. Controls are free and correct, thresholds checked for landing aircraft, and there actually is somebody landing. So we'll just hang for 1 second. Tower clearance, landing lights and strobe lights on. And since there's a bunch of traffic here, I'm going to put an advisory out that we are departing. KPHL traffic departing on the Philly 1 to Woodstown. Alright, and I'm going to put my landing lights and strobe lights on. Taxi lights are off. We'll let the cabin know. Cycle that. Brakes are released. Cabin is notified. APU is off. Altimeter is the local setting. Flaps are set. Trim is set. Lights are on. Fuel pump's on. I think we've done everything we're supposed to do. Oh my. Philadelphia Tower Gulfstream 48 Sierra. We were departing 27 left. We're line up and wait. Where were you?
Gulfstream 48 Sierra, Philadelphia Tower. Squawk 3035, and I'll have your takeoff clearance in a moment.
All right, 3035, and we'll hold position.
And Gulfstream 48 Sierra, wind 290 at 10. Fly heading 230, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
All right, fly heading 230, 27 left, we're cleared for takeoff. Gulfstream 48 Sierra. Where was Philly Tower? Did he, like, literally just sign on? All time. And brakes are released. We're going. 2 good engines. Second on me. Flaps coming up. We'll go to a heading of 230 up to 5,000. Autopilot's on. Whoops. Yaw dampener's on. And these are set to flight. And we'll get the speed under control. And the fuel pump can go off.
Gulfstream 8 Sierra, no further ATC is available. To advisory is approved. Have a good flight.
Alright, 48 Sierra, we're switching. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see a sign on. Was it while I was taxiing out?
Oh, Roger, yeah. I just signed on as you were getting to the runway. Not a problem.
Oh, bummer for me, though. I would have liked to get the whole procedure through. But thanks, we're switching. Good day. Direct to Woodstown. Flaps are up. Alright, let's do the after takeoff checklist. Gears up, lights are out. Flaps are retracted, the autopilot is engaged, the yaw dampener is on, the flight director is on. The taxi and logo lights are off. Fuel pump is off. Landing lights at 10,000 and altimeter standard setting at flight level 180, and the start switches are to flight. We're currently at flight level 400, listening to Jacksonville Center. And this is my first flight with
Jacksonville Center, American 1348, please be at flight level 360.
Frequency off.
American 1348, Jacksonville Center, good evening.
My first flight with the new setup with the Desktop Aviator GPS module and my Desktop Aviator switch box, which is acting as my cabin alerts, my fuel cross feed, and my APU, which I actually had an issue with that, but I'll talk about that in a sec. It wasn't a big deal. I don't know if you can see the screens. I hope they're not washed out. Usually when it's daytime, it has an issue where the screens are a little washed out. Hopefully you can see the GPS monitor. I don't know how to fix that yet. The only way I know how to make the screens more clear is to hold the camera really close, and then you don't see the cockpit. So, night, as it gets darker, hopefully it'll get better. And I'll talk about these modules real quick. Alright, so here we have the GPS monitor, which is acting perfectly. We're 232 miles from Orlando, kind of skipping the coast. If you see what I mean, how it's difficult to read the names. I mean, I believe that's Wilmington right there, but I can't read any of that. And here's the Desktop Aviator switch array. Here's my no smoking and my seatbelt sign. Here's my fuel cross feed, which you see turns on the fuel. Now, when it came to the APU...
93.6, contact center 133.32, safe landing.
Alright, so when it came to the APU, sorry about all that delay. I didn't know in Flight Sim the APU had it one switch for on and one switch for off. I couldn't just toggle it with one switch, it required two. And one acts as the APU generator transfer. So this turns on the APU, and then I flip it off, and the APU will start. And then this one toggles between the APU and the generator, and then this one I turn on to shut off the APU and then flip it off. And that's how I have to operate the APU right now. Also, this is the first flight with the new 15-port Cabernox USB hub, and I have to say it's taken a lot of load off the computer, and Flight Sim seems to be running a little better. So, I'm really pleased with that so far. So, I'm just waiting for our descent, and our arrival into Orlando.
Orlando International Airport Native Information Delta. 225 breeze low. Red 110 at 12. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 3,300. 13,000 scattered. 23,000 broken. 30,000 broken. Temperature 27. 2.22. Altimeter 3000. Expect localizer visual approach to runway 18 right, 17 right and 17 left. Departing runway 18 left. Simultaneous parallel approaches are in use. Movement to airmen. Airport surveillance detection equipment in use. Squawk North Charlie on the taxiways and runways. Bird activity in area. Include your call sign in the remix. Upon receipt of your ATC clearance remix only your squawk code. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information gathered.
Alright, so we picked up information Delta for Orlando. Okay. Missed approach, climb to 500, then a climbing right turn to 4,000 on a heading of 270. And on the Orlando Vortac radial 227 to Canby intersection. Orlando 20 nautical mile DME and hold. Continued climb and a hold to 4,000. Minimums are 200 feet, so that's 294 above the ground. Let's see, program, start approach, ILS, 18 right, vectors is my only option, load. Alright, so now also include that.
November 40 Sierra contact center 133.32 ready.
Okay, over to 133.32 for 480 Sierra. We're switching. Good night. Good evening, Jacksonville Center, Gulfstream 480 Sierra, checking in flight level 400.
Gulfstream 480 Jacksonville, good evening. Descend with pilot's discretion, cross Lama at maintain 12,000. You're under altimeter 3000.
Okay, our discretion to cross Lama at 12,000, Gulfstream 480. Alright, so we've been cleared to cross Lama at 12. Let's begin a descent.
Gulfstream 480 contact Jackson approach 12, Orlando approach 125.55.
Orlando approach on 12555, 480, good day. Orlando approach Gulfstream 480, checking in at 12,000, crossing Lama.
Number 480 how do you hear Orlando?
480, happy 555.
For 480 so maintain 6,000.
We're out at 12 for 6, 480.
November 480, advise when you have ATIS Delta at International, expect a localizer visual, runway 18 Ridge.
480, we do have Delta, we'll expect the ILS 18 right.
And over 800 will be the localizer visual 18 right.
Correction, localizer visual 18 right for 480.
Thank you. Gulfstream 480, maintain 3,000, join the runway 18 right localizer.
Alright, maintain 3,000, join the 18 right localizer 480.
2000, turn left heading 270.
Alright, gears down, 3 green indicating.
Descending heading 3000, turn left heading 270. Profile 470.
20 degrees of flaps out.
Gulfstream 4800, is at your 12 o'clock, 10 miles port field site.
4800, we have the airport in sight.
Gulfstream 4800, clear visual approach, runway 18 right contact, Orlando Tower 124.3, have a good landing.
Alright, we're clear for the visual 18 right and Orlando Tower 124.3 for 4800, good night. Orlando Tower, Gulfstream 4800 is with you on the visual localizer 18 right with 10 miles out with Delta.
4800, Orlando Tower, runway 18 right, clear to land, traffic is departing. A moment, the wind is 110 at 12.
Alright, 18 right, cleared to land and copy 1 departure before our arrival, 4800. Alright, full flaps. Alright, flaps are all the way out, gears down, 3 green, starters are on, yaw dampener off, landing lights on, marker beacons on, fuel pumps on. Here's the outer marker, slow it to 160.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Alright, autopilot disengaged. And, autopilot disarmed.
Don't sink.
Reversers are out.
Aircraft information, Aquanaut current at Orlando, wind 11012, altimeter 3000.
There's 60 knots, reversers stowed.
Orlando Tower Challenger 181908, holding short 18 left at Echo.
Challenger 181908, Orlando Tower, cross, runway 18 left at Echo, hold short, runway 18 right.
Cross 18 at Echo, hold short 18 right. Challenger 181908.
Gulfstream 8, Sierra, turn right Alpha 2, hold short of Alpha, contact ground point 8.
Right Alpha 2, ground point 8, 4800. Alright, spoilers are coming up, flaps are coming up. Turn these off. De-ice is off, pitot heat's off. Marker beacon's off, turn the landing lights off, turn the strobe lights off, turn the fuel pump off. Ground is 121.8. Overturn a little bit. Orlando ground, Gulfstream 4800, we're clearing 18 right on Alpha 2, taxi to signature.
Number 48, Orlando ground, taxi straight ahead. Welcome to Orlando.
Straight into signature 4800, thank you. Oh, alright, park and brake set. I'll stop here. Alright, engine cutoff 1 and 2, rotating beacon is off. The APU is running.
Orlando ground, southwest 2550, ready for pushback. Aircraft calling for push. Contact me for taxi.
Alright, so that's our arrival into Orlando for Friday night ops. Hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Like and subscribe, and until next time, happy landings.